Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
Let's start with the session today.
Yes, so today we are going to look at another category. We're going to look at Hetus, Jhānaṅgas, and maggaṅgas. And before we start with the content, let's pay respect to the Buddha.
We remember oral teachers, Sayadaw Nandamalaji, Shweo Min Sayadawji, Sayadaw Tajaniya, Sayadaw Kamsacara, and all the teachers, all their teachers. May they be well, healthy, and continue with inspiration, sharing the teachings to all of us. And together, we pay homage to the sublime, the victorious, to the totally self-enlightened one, the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Thank you.
Okay, so
Thanks to all the teachers.
Okay, so let's start.
Today we're starting with the neutral families and also beautiful. We're going to the jhana factors, what we already have seen in the past, and also the path factors. We might not finish today because especially the path factors is a little bit deep. It implies a lot of practice, how to apply what we have learned. But yes, we are moving. We finished already all the akusala.
Yes. Okay, so let's start. And Asvante already made an introduction. We have seen all the akusalas, categories of the akusalas, those that bind us to samsara, such as those asawas, or those floods and yoke and bonds and all these categories of the defilements and all this that bound us. And later we'll also see, like as Bhante said, the beautiful ones, the bodhipakkhya, the requisites of enlightenment, those that bring us up.
The factors of enlightenment, yes.
Yes, and so we have finished the akusala and we have not yet arrived to the bodhipakkhya. And today we are actually going to first see one mixed category. So here in this mixed category, there are some elements that are not nice, not good, akusala, and some of them are good, or also parts of the ones that bring us up.
Yes.
Yes. So today is mixed category.
Yes.
Okay. And so the first one is actually you are very, very familiar with it. Is Hetu. Hetu roots. No? So we are very familiar with this one. There is not much to say about it, but there's just only one detail that I want to add. So Hetus, as we all know, they are lobha, dosa, moha, and lobha, adosa, and amoha, no?
The six
roots. Six roots, yes. So in the roots, because you see some other categories, we have more factors than how we have learned previously, no? But in the roots, there are only six, always six, these six of them. And so the only thing that we have to mention here is that the three akusala roots is always called akusala roots.
Always.
And these three, alobha, adosa, and moha, they are called kusala roots as well as abhyagata roots. So here we will, previously we have mentioned about this word abhyagata. So let's refresh the memory a little bit. So akusala and kusala, then as we know, the wholesome and unwholesome, which are the seeds that we plant, our own actions, the three types of actions, verbal, physical and mental actions, no? Then we have vipaka chittas, which are resultants, and then we have kriya chittas.
The fruits of those seeds.
Then we have kriya chittas functional, which are those that merely perform their own function, as well as the kusala, well actually not kusala, as well as the good things that the arahants do, no? When they are totally enlightened, then they don't plant seeds anymore. So all their good actions, actually it's good, but they are only functional because they don't generate karma anymore.
For example, all the teaching of the Buddha actually falls onto this category. With all the goodness he did, with all the benefit that he left for all of us, he actually didn't plant any seed for him. He cut already the possibility of planting more seeds. So all his actions, although were very wholesome, much wholesome that many beings, but they were not planting seeds anymore. That's why there is no seed. When he died for the last time, he reached parinibbana and he didn't reborn anymore. There was no fruit anymore. There was always a functional, wholesome actions without planting seed.
Yes, this is just to refresh the memories, because now that we're already in chapter 7, all these things you already know.
One thing, in terms of the graphic, kriya means it is neither seed, neither fruit. It is no result, no generator of result.
Yeah,
just
maybe
functional.
the picture maybe you don't see very well.
Yeah, it was a little bit fast.
Yeah. Anyway, so they are neither kusala nor akusala. So all those that are neither kusala nor akusala are called abhyagata. No, previously we have introduced this word. Even rupa are included in abhyagata. But now, since we are only talking about mind, because hetu, roots, only concern the mind, does not concern the body or matter. So here we only look at the mind, akusala, kusala, vipaka, and kriya. So those that are neither kusala nor akusala are abhyagata. And as we see, the three akusala roots, they only associate with akusala. They never associate with kusala, surely. And remember, the akusala vipaka are always rootless, no? The eye consciousness or the ear consciousness, the consciousness that, the result of akusala are always rootless. So therefore, they also do not associate with even their own fruits. Yes?
You remember, because the akusala root is kind of putrid. It's already a bad root, so it cannot generate healthy fruits that will give more seeds. So actually, it is a result, but it doesn't generate more unwholesomeness. It has no root anymore. That's why the picture in the bottom of the putrid fruits are actually the result of rotten fruits. It's the result of akusala. Bad root, akusala vipaka.
Yes. So, and of course, kriya, functional, never associate with any roots, and then the functional that are performed by the arahants, they associate only with good roots. No, so therefore, these three are called akusala roots, while the other three, alobha, dosa, moha, is called kusala roots as well as abhyagata roots, because for us kusala roots it associates with kusala, and as abhyagata it associates with kusala vipaka, the 8 maha vipaka. No, those that let's say if we are reborn as a human being, normal human being, we have at least 2 roots or 3 roots. No, so those vipaka, those resultant consciousness, are the ones that are kusala vipaka associated with good roots.
Yeah, quick reminder, as human beings, for sure we have 2 roots, alobha and adosa. We for sure, if we born as human beings, before dying in the previous life, we died with some degree of love and kindness or generosity, detachment. That's why it was possible to become a human. The third root, the panya, the amoha root, is not a guarantee. Hence the continued exhortation of the teachers for us to cultivate wisdom. We might have it already. There are possibilities, if we like already to cultivate, if we are somehow seated right now trying to cultivate wisdom, there might be possibilities that it is there, but in case it is not,
it's most probably.
Teachers said most probably, but cannot tell. So we need to cultivate as much as possible. Those are the 3 beneficial roots that give prosperous rebirth, like human, from human above.
Yes.
We're already in a good destination. Middle, suffering and everything, but already good mental quality.
Yes, and in the case of kriya, this kriya is surely those one that are good things performed by the arahants, so by the totally enlightened person, no? Because those kriyas, such as pancha dora vajana, the 5 door averting consciousness, or vatavana, these ones, they are also functional, but they have no roots, no? They belong to ahetuka. Chitas, no, Hetu chitas. Anyway, so this is just one point. These are things that you already know, but just one point about the roots. So akusala roots and kusala and abhyagata roots. That's the only thing that we needed to.
Two different groupings.
Okay, until here, everything fine?
Everything fine. Any question until here? We move on?
Yes.
Everybody?
Okay, so.
Everybody? Los de la Mari, ¿cómo están? Muy calladitos. Eso, viene, viene, eso.
Okay, so very quickly, we finished the one category already. So
Good.
now let's go to Jhānaṅgas. And Jhānaṅgas, the jhana factors. So most of the time when we see this word Jhānaṅgas or jhana factors, we always remember, or we always understand it to be the Rupavachara or Arupavachara jhanas, no? Usually we remember. But here in this mixed category, we have to understand it in a little different
wider way.
Yes. So the word jhana has a few definitions. The first one is to look closely at something, at its object. No? The second one is to contemplate intently, like in the meditation jhana.
Concentrated very clearly.
And the third definition is to burn the mental hindrances. Which
we saw last week, no? The 5 hindrances we saw?
Yes.
We saw the 5
because when a person when they attain jhana, they must first suppress the 5 hindrances. No, so one of the definitions of jhanas are also to burn the mental hindrances. Sense
desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, doubt and agitation.
Yes,
restlessness.
Okay, so but here we have the definition that we need to take for this jhana in this mixed grouping is actually to look closely. So this is the definition that we need to take. Teacher says here jhana should be understood as the cetasikas which look closely at the object. So not necessarily only during jhana, but it can be in everyday life as well. So those cetasikas that focus and that look closely onto the object are those that are called jhana factors here. So of course, the jhana factors that we are very familiar with, those that arises in jhana, vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, and ekagata. These ones surely they look closely to the object, no? Because if we are not, if the mind is not focused, if it is not looking closely to the object, then jhana cannot arise. So surely these mental factors they also look closely to the objects.
Yes, so we have vitaka, vichara, initial application, sustained application. That means the thinking. The mind takes an object and then look at the object or investigates the object. Then we have piti, joy, sukha, happiness, and ekagata. When the mind entertains only these 5 elements, we can say that a person is,
when it is prominent.
When they are prominent, yes, these 5, the mind is very pure, is thinking with joy and happiness and very concentrated, we can say it is a jhana. As we remember, they start eliminating, the mind gets more refined, so it drops the holding objects, it's not holding objects anymore, then it enters in the second jhana, then it drops the investigation of objects, then it enters to the third jhana, then even joy is a little bit gross for the mind, so it drops joy, it gets more concentrated, more peaceful, then goes to the fourth, then we have happiness and ekagata, and at this moment, there is a change. The mind even drops happiness. For a mind that is so stable, so carefully placed on its object, even happiness is a gross, it's agitated. So the mind changes the object to upeka, which is that changes the vedana, to upeka, and the mind is equanimity and one-pointedness. Imagine the purity of a mind, which is only experiencing chiefly equanimity and one-pointedness. Very, very stable, very refined. That's why when entering the 5th jhana, as we know, the abhiññas and all these kind of things that are hard often to understand in normal terms starts to happen. That mind can know the thinking of others. It's so calm, so quiet inside that it can listen the thinking of others and etc., as we have seen before. But Fer has the hand up. Yes, Don Fer, welcome, my dear.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a question. Which are the ultimate realities for yoniso manasikāra?
Okay, this is a
That's a big question.
big question.
Big question.
Yes. Can we go to this question after we finish the jhana factors?
Big question, Fer.
Yes.
Good one, interesting,
Yes.
and there are
difficult one actually.
yeah,
very
difficult,
question.
deep, and also there because it has many points where we can look at it. We have recently, like 2 months ago, we were discussing this
actually,
with Seado
during the years, we have always asked this question again and again and again and again to our teachers. But still, I myself haven't get a very, very clear picture about it.
So we will tell what as much as we can the answer, there will be things, it is very big. Yoniso manasikāra take it as a wise attention. So just by looking at that part, we will see. We explore.
Let's finish the jhana factors and then we go to yoniso.
Question back. How do you got that question? Because of the content, or you had that question before, or just remember?
Because of the jhana.
Because we are seeing factors that help to focus your attention. So I thought of that word of yoniso manasikāra, the wise attention. It's because the subject that I consider is related. Yeah.
Yes.
Ok, don Fer, ya abrió una caja grandecita, vamos a ver.
Okay, so thank you so much for your question, and we will continue with that after we finish the jhana.
It's wonderful, my dear family, that we can now speak the Dhamma language. We have already all the lexicon and the words, so it will be much easier to explore further. Thank you. It will be good. I'm happy that we can. I think we can arrive more satisfactorily to some answer.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so let's continue a little bit with jhana factors first. And so now here, as we see that we have vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, and ekagata for the first lower jhanas, and then we have upekkha and ekagata for the fifth jhana. No? So in general terms, we can say that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jhana factors here. So vitakka, vichara, piti, ekagata, sukha, and upekkha.
That are exchanged as we saw in the fifth jhana. No?
Yes, but then since we are now here talking about those cetasikas that look at things closely, so these cetasikas that we look seeing here do not necessarily have to be during jhana. It's just only looking at things very closely. So for example, vitakka, when we think about things, we are thinking about the object quite closely. Now we are observing it closely. And or piti, when we have something, we feel joyful, then we take those happiness because of the object, so not necessarily during jhana. So here there are some variations here. For example, sukha here actually in this 7 chapter category, Jhānaṅga, instead of sukha, it is actually somanasa.
The mental happiness. Vedana, the mental happiness itself.
Which sukha also included, no? Because here this somanasa include mental and physical, both. And another interesting thing here is that another factor is also included. Domanasa. Yes, so
Domanasa jhana, my dear family.
Yes, jhana.
Wow.
Yes, imagine like it's so focused on what it does not like.
When our mind sees its enemy, when we face an enemy, the mind really concentrates and wants to take care of whoever the person feels an enemy or a threat. The mind really concentrates on the object. So we can say that jhana in this category, as we said, it is getting bright and it's mixed category. We can actually develop a miccha jhana or a wrong jhana, we could say wrong concentration on an object that we wish to destroy. When a person is about to kill something, unfortunately, or attack something, it is really concentrated. Remember the facial expression of a cheetah before killing the prey. It is really concentrated. It is unbelievable because it really wants to take over and destroy. The same happens with anger. So actually, jhana generally is referred as wholesome, as we know. Yes, but our mind, vitakka, vichara, the thinking, it is neutral. We can think on good and we can think on bad. We can get joy because we did good, practice generosity, or because we somebody stole something and nobody caught him, so he experienced joy by finishing his unwholesome job. So ekagata also, we can concentrate for doing good, and as I said, el francotirador, how you say francotirador, the sniper, the sniper is really concentrated onto, really concentrated, one-pointedness, but his intention is totally unwholesome. So actually, we can achieve very heightened degree of concentration through anger. When the mind sees its enemy or a situation that it wishes to destroy, it is very powerful, the mind. So this is why domanassa, it's also included into these jhana factors in the unwholesome side.
Yes, so here jhana factors are in the mixed category. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, 7 jhana factors: vitakka, vichara, piti, ekagata, somanassa, domanassa, and upekkha.
The three kinds of Vedanas.
Vedana is also included. So Bhante already gave some vivid examples, but anyway, I prepared a few images of like when we dislike something, do you think we concentrate on it, or we look closely to it when we don't like something?
Is this guy concentrated on the broccoli?
He doesn't like it now, so we do look closely to things that we don't like, no?
Or
so those are the things that how domanassa is also included in cetasikas that look closely to its object.
And this, which is an ability of our mind, can be used in our demise, for our suffering. When anger is present, it does concentrate vividly with the object it hates. For example, this noise, and our mind, because of its concentration on based on the aversion, actually starts amplifying the perception of the sound, so it gets more angry, it feels more suffering. So this, my dear family, a mind which is unchecked can generate, this is one of the reasons why a mind on akusala can generate so much suffering. Because it's using its good power, in this case, for generating unpleasantness and suffering.
Yes, so therefore, domanassa is also included in the jhana factors here. Okay, so let's stop here and then let's go to yoniso manasikāra.
By the way, until here, my dear family, we're closing the jhana.
Factors,
anything about it? Question, comment? How is everybody? Everybody
it's quite
okay?
Easy to understand.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so about
Yoniso, you want to go yourself? Okay.
Yes. About yoniso manasikāra, and just I will tell as much as I know, because it is a vast
very
topic. And also, why is it difficult to understand or difficult to grasp it is because Sayadaw Kamsachara, he said that it is really case by case, and it's really in different situations. Therefore, it is very difficult to say. Because one time, many years ago, I asked Sayadaw this same question, exactly same question.
Yeah.
I said, Sayadaw, what is the ultimate reality of yoniso manasikāra? Then Sayadaw said it is panya. Is wisdom, because it's understand the situation, and it is for example during meditation and all these things, and it is actually panya, yoniso manasikāra. Okay, but then then I thought for some time, then I thought yoniso manasikāra ultimate reality is panya. Then later on, then I asked Sayadaw again, Sayadaw, how about yoniso manasikāra in the situation? Because yoniso manasikāra is the approximate cost of all kusala, all kusala actions, But kusala actions not all the time associate with panya. So how is that yoniso manasikāra is panya?
We can do good without being wise, or just not knowing we can be doing good.
And so then Sayadaw said, in this case, it is not panya. In this case, it is something else, In this case, it can be manasikāra, attention itself.
You remember the universal ingredient of the mind, manasikāra, which is the attention of the mind. So that is the second part of the word. And yoniso will be rightful or wise in the different contexts, right?
Paying attention to the right object, Paying attention to the right thing, and like that. So in this case, not necessarily panya, because can be small things also, small kusala also possible, So So I still haven't get a very like
Full picture.
full picture of how yoniso manasikāra, although it is a very important thing because since it is the approximate cause of all kusala, and yoniso manasikāra is the proximate cause of all akusala as well, no, unwise attention. So it is very important to understand it. But it seems that it is not a thing that is like this equal this.
We cannot pinpoint
so,
in ultimate reality because actually it's very
Depend
broad.
on
I
this.
have some other things to add to it because a few years ago, Jhānaṅga made the question to Seado, and a few months ago I also, Seado can, and he even reminded us, oh, we have spoken about this before many times.
Actually, but,
And I say, Seado, yes, but it's not yet clear because, so yoniso manasikāra, wise attention, in one sense, we can think of it as looking reality as it is when wisdom is there, no? So that yoniso manasikāra in that case will be serving its highest potential because we are having the vipassana eyes. We are looking at reality as it is because of our wise attention. We are putting attention onto the right object with the right attitude, with the right ingredients, which will be wisdom. Now, how to pinpoint it more closely? In the Noble Eightfold Path, the whole of the practices, the practice is stated, no? We have sila, samadhi, and panya. So if panya is there, that kind of yoniso manasikāra, wise attention, will fall not in sila, because that is some degree of wise attention, not to doing bad, but that is not the deepest. Also, samadhi, we can stabilize because we have attention wisely, because we know it is good. Okay, there is some degree of wisdom, but we can, in a very more close way, if we are in the need to explain to somebody what it is, we can explain the two wisdom side of the Noble Eightfold Path, which will be right view, samadhi, and sammasankappa, and right thought, no? So by knowing that, all of these, as you see now, Fer, when we open to the different aspects of yoniso manasikāra, then we can see there are more ultimate realities. What ultimate realities?
Samadhi is panya, ultimate reality. Sammasankappa is
also
vitaka.
Yes, but what kind? Look at the ingredients.
Well, we will look now. It's coming. Actually,
Samadhi and sammasankappa.
Yes, connected to the thing that we are
no
coming.
se pierdan la segunda parte de la clase, ladies and gentlemen. Is coming.
Yes. So because just after Jhānaṅga, we are going to maggaṅga. Maggaṅga are path factors, no? So Noble Eightfold Path we are going to explore.
Okay,
so therefore,
I won't say
the explanation is there.
It's coming. It's coming. The only thing I'm saying,
so it can be vitaka.
Yes, we can yoniso manasikāra can be right view and right thought, and its ingredients, which we are about to see. That would be kind of the closest. And we know that panya is the umbrella that encompasses this for us ultimate reality.
Yes. So therefore, it's a little bit.
It's a wide. It's a wide
depend on
sense.
Depend on the level of.
It's kind of yoniso manasikāra is the beginning of wise goodness, we can say, because of the wisdom before. Goodness happens based on that wisdom. That could be the right attention and the right decision for action.
It's very interesting theme that I think we should
continue. Follow up. We should
continue to explore and continue to understand little by little. Maybe it will take years until we have a fuller picture for yoniso manasikāra.
You know when we're gonna have a full picture about it? When we experience it directly, when we get enlightened, we will see, that was yoniso manasikāra. To be applying ourselves on the right balance of ethics and stability of mind and wisdom. I think then we will be able to say.
Yes.
I think it's when we look at reality like with no judgments, like only seeing experience as experience, and we are kind of focused on the change in the objects, and that concentration is not broken. I guess that could be we could say that yoniso manasikāra is present in that case. Well, I think
yes, it is the right practice. It is the wise contemplation and attention. Yes.
Yes. Two things that I want to mention. Firstly, congratulations, Fer. Really good, because I feel like when one starts thinking about what the ultimate reality of things are, we are really getting to the right direction.
Yes.
Because this is how the practice goes, no? Because we want to see the ultimate
What?
reality of things. No?
Yes.
So
yes,
thinking about the ultimate reality of these things are really good. Really
Totally,
good.
totally.
Yes. And
thank God.
another thing is that now that you mentioned, like seeing the changes in the objects, I just want to add one thing, that maybe rather than changing of the objects is the focus, if we put it to changing of the mind, which takes the objects, that could be closer to the practice. Because the objects, of course, the objects changes, but as Sayadaw Tejaniya says, object is actually not the most important, but the mind that knows the object is important. So, of course, if the object change, actually the mind changed, no? Because the mind changed, therefore we see another object. But if our focus is on the mind, then it could be maybe another way to look at it.
Yes. There was another window of this big room of Yoniso Manasikāra that was open right now with your comment, Fer. Yes, if we are trying to look at anicca, dukkha, and anatta, we can also say is wise attention. We are trying to understand reality as it is in its three unchanged characteristic. I mean, definite characteristics, and that will be already doing vipassana, trying to see the always changing nature, impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and the non-self. That will be also part of. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody okay?
Yes.
Everybody okay? Good.
Yes. So we're going to maggaṅgas, and then we will go to the kappa and matiti as well. Okay. So let's continue.
Yes.
Now, here, again, when we see the word maggaṅga, path factors, we usually think of the Noble Eightfold Path, no? Like the 8 elements that we are quite familiar with. But here, since we are in the mixed category, so we have to understand this magga, this path in another way.
This word is magga and anga, no?
Yes, magga and anga.
Factors,
so factors
and the path.
Yes, anga is factors, magga is the path, maggaṅga. So here, instead of understanding it as the Noble Eightfold Path, we need to understand it as something that leads to some place, leads to some realms or some kind of existence. So it is some path that leads somewhere. It doesn't say that whether it is to some good place or to some bad place. No? So it's just the path,
yes.
Those factors.
It's as a reminder, we are talking about mixed categories. So you will be surprised maybe with something that is about to come.
Yes. So of course, the Noble Eightfold Path, as we have seen, right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This Noble Eightfold Path, surely it leads to the purification of the mind. It leads to nibbana.
Yeah, this is the essence of the whole practice. We can simplify it as saying sila, samadhi, panya, morality, mental stability, and wisdom. And then when we look at it more closely, what is sila? It's a right action, right speech, and right livelihood. Then when we look at right samadhi or concentration, it will be to set up the right effort, to have mindfulness and concentration itself, the practice of meditation. And then we will have the side of panya, which will be having the right view and the right thought, the right mental frame to contemplate reality in a wholesome way.
Yes. So these are the Noble Eightfold Path that leads to the purification of the mind, that leads to nibbana. But here, since we are in the mixed category, so we should take this as part of the maggaṅga that leads to good place, and we have some other factors that leads to not good place, no, lead to the wound state. So altogether there are 12 factors. So the other side is actually wrong view.
You remember when the Buddha says there is right view. If the Buddha says there is right view, there must be a wrong view. Otherwise, why would he said right? When he said right samadhi, there must be wrong samadhi, because he needed to stress this is right samadhi. And there must be wrong. So here we go. Yes. Buckle up.
Then we have, instead of right thought, we have wrong
thought.
And then right speech, right action, and right livelihood. Here, Of course, there is wrong speech, wrong action, and wrong livelihood, but there is the ultimate reality. There is no one specific ultimate reality for the wrong one, because for wrong speech, when we tell lies, when we say something bad, as we have seen in the previous chapters, when we talk about 10 course of unwholesome action, then when we lie, then it can be because of dosa, it can be because of loba, and so there is no specific cetasika about this. So here, this right speech, right action, right livelihood, although there is the other side of wrong speech, wrong action, wrong livelihood, there is no, it is not mentioned here as another factor, because it is dosa or it is loba.
Because of loba, generally because of loba, desire will lie, or a person will lie. He has some intention, he wants something, then he dares to change reality or try to deceive the other.
Yeah, they are not mentioned here because they are not separate cetasikas. They are just another agusala cetasikas accompanied by some other agusala chittas. No? Okay, so in maggaṅga, they are not included in the other side. So we jump to wrong effort. So there is right effort, and then we have wrong effort. Then the next one is wrong concentration. So about mindfulness, we will come to it later. Yes. Okay.
Wrong
so,
mindfulness.
Yes, actually, mindfulness, as you see that it is sati is always kusala, no? So it does not associate with wrong. So there cannot be wrong mindfulness, cannot be, because it only associates with sati. Sati only associates with kusala, but there are more to tell about it. So let's go through this one first.
Jhānaṅga.
Okay.
Díganos.
Okay. Let's keep it as an advertisement for the time being.
Ay, aquí nos va a tener. Uy, esto se va. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
Okay, so let's go to the first pair, right view
and wrong view.
Wrong view. So samaditi and micchaditi, no? So micchaditi, we have talked about it for many times. So it's basically, we don't have to repeat it too much. So I just put a graphic to show like that those all that we have seen. Thinking that there is no result, thinking that everything is just by chance, there might be cause but no effect, or
that there is destiny.
No cause, no effect. You just live once, and when it's finished, that's it, that's gone. And then we have Sakaya Ditti, the wrong view of self. We saw last week, taking the mind and matter and the five aggregates as self, no?
That there is soul, that there is God, or somebody who is saying good or bad, or wishing good or bad. So all these kind of wrong views that we have seen before, and as generally we call Ditti by itself, because generally when the word Ditti, although it can be a Samaditi or Micchaditi, generally when we hear the word Ditti, we refer to wrong view.
Yes.
Because there is more of it.
Yes, when you see the word Ditti, if it wants to mean Samaditi, right view, it always comes with Sama. It always can come with Samaditi. So if you see only Ditti, as Bhante said, it's Micchaditi.
It's a Micchaditi.
Okay, so let's as a wrong view, just as a reminder, in the Digha Nikaya and long discourses, the first sutta, Brahmajala Sutta, there are the 62 kinds of wrong view that are taught by the Buddha. If you're interested, then you can go and take a look at
Brahmajala Sutta, the 62 kinds of wrong view.
Yeah, so there are many. So like last time, we also have, last week, we have also seen those kind of Silabata Paramasa, also wrong view, no, at the end.
The adherence to rites and rituals.
Or the understanding, the wrong understanding of practice.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, so wrong view, we will not go to it anymore, because we have talked about a lot about it. But Samaditi, we actually haven't talked much about it. What is Samaditi? Of course, Samaditi is the opposite of all the other, but specifically, there are a few kinds of Samaditi, which is interesting. We haven't explored before. Now, the first one is the most simple one. Is called Kammasakata Samaditi.
Kammasaka, Parimaya Disaya, you remember in the metta chanting.
Kammasaka. Kammasaka means, actually means the right view of understanding that beings have karma as their own property. So whatever we plant,
our actions.
Whatever we plant, those fruits we are going to receive.
No one else is responsible for our good or bad actions. No one else will receive the fruits of our good or bad actions. Our karma, it's our property for lives, not just in this life, but we will take that potentiality, and we have been carrying potentiality from lives to lives. It's the only thing that crosses from one to the other, and is actually what generated this body. Born in the family we born, under the conditions we born, having the friends we got in touch, the teaching or not, whatever it was, because of this property that we carry. And right now we are generating with either good karma, good actions, or bad actions.
Yes. So Kammasaka Samadhi, when we talk about the Loba Mula Chitta in chapter 1, when we said that Somanasa, Sahagata, Ditthigata, Sampayuta, or Vipayuta, those understanding of whether it is without wrong view, that Ditti Gata Sampayuta or Vipayuta there, that Ditti is the understanding of karma, no? Understanding that karma give result. So those are the most basic kind of Kammasakata Samadhi. No? So yes, so this is one kind of right view, and then now we are going to other kinds
very
of right.
important for our lives, for society, to take responsibility and know the consequences of our good and bad actions, both of them. Then if we know that, and we take it as a fact of nature, which is we receive what we planted, I think with more informed we can make better decisions with our speech, with our thoughts, and our actions. I think that will be just this teaching, this understanding, this right view will give so much benefit to ourselves, and I would say to all society.
Yes. Also, another point that now I remember that I wanted to share with you, that when we practice the 4 Brahma Viharas, the 4 unlimited,
unmeasurable,
metta, karuna, mudita, and upekkha, no?
Loving kindness, compassion, happiness in the well-being of others, and equanimity.
Yes. So loving kindness, surely that we are sending loving kindness to people that we are more or less the same fortune of with as we are. Then when it is karuna, that's people less fortunate, and mudita, people more fortunate than us. Then upekkha is actually this Kammasaka Kammasakata Samadhi is important, because we understand that all beings have their own karma. They are responsible for their own actions. So because of this right view, because of this right understanding, the mind becomes stable. It does not agitate, and then upekkha arises because of this.
So for example, especially with compassion, we might see somebody suffering. We see an old man, sick, old, and suffering because of the oldness or sickness. There comes a time when we tried already whatever we could medically possible, with food, with medicine and treatment, but then his condition cannot be changed. Then if we do not maintain some degree of equanimity, we might start feeling sad about it, or even get depressed or feel hopeless about it. But then we understand that in that case, and in other cases of suffering in the world, beyond our trying, there are also some limits, because in samsara, suffering exists. Physical pain exists, it's a fact of life, and mental pain also exists. It's kind of equanimity, knowing, yes, we are here because of our actions, and very often the suffering of many people is directly caused by their carelessness. And I'm not saying all the time, but yes, so we might understand and try the best we can. That will never stop us trying to help others, but we will need a healthy degree of bringing this truth of nature onto the scene, to not allow our mind to be distressed or fallen. Okay. All beings are owners of their own karma. We born in the conditions we born, not because there is a mean superhuman or almighty being that desires people who born in hunger or violence. Is actually based on nature, cause and effect, and we can make peace with it and try our best to ease that suffering.
Okay, so that's the first right view, Kammasakata Samadhi. Okay, let's go to the second right view. The second right view is called Vipassana Samadhi. Vipassana Samadhi. So what is it? Vipassana Samadhi is actually the seeing phenomena as impermanent, as dukkha, and as anatta. No,
Non-satisfactory and non-self.
Yes. Why is why are these ones called as why is it called samadhi here? Because when we understand that all phenomena, mind and matter, are impermanent or are non-satisfactory and non-self, that is one kind of samadhi. No, and this samadhi happens when that happens in the vipassana practice before one attained enlightenment, before magga. So when one is practicing during that time, then one is having a certain kind of wisdom that is growing. No, during the practice is growing, not arriving to magga yet, but during the vipassana practice with this kind of understanding, that kind of samadhi, which are fulfilling the noble eightfold path. No, like little by little, fulfilling. So those time, the noble eightfold path should be all full and then becomes magga. No, so during that time, fulfilling that kind of samadhi is vipassana samadhi.
Contemplating the ultimate characteristics of reality, always changing, unsatisfactory. Because of that change, because of the change, it becomes unsatisfactory. Happiness can never, or physical well-being cannot last forever. Sooner or later, sickness will arrive or death will arrive. And then we have the anatta. Nothing, no being or no entity is guiding the natural process. It is just cause and effect by itself.
Okay, the next one is magga samadhi. So magga samadhi is actually the samadhi,
the right view,
accompanying the magga chitta. So that is the fulfillment of the right will factor of the noble eightfold path. No, when in vipassana samadhi, we keep accumulating, fulfilling.
Wisdom. Boom, enlightenment.
Yes, in magga chitta, the noble eightfold path, the 8 factors is all fulfilled there at that moment. No, so at that time, that's right view is called the magga samadhi.
The top, the crown of wisdom, the liberation, the ultimate liberation that wisdom brings about, which is touching the object of nibbana for the first time, for the second, third, and fourth. And in the fourth one, home run. No more coming back. The rocket has had enough fuel of morality, enough fuel of mental stability, and enough fuel of wisdom. So it really went over the world. Gravity cannot pull a mind which already acquired the highest wisdom. That rocket is in space already. Gravity cannot take a hold. Literally, the world cannot bring it back. It's beyond, it's lokutara, beyond the world. No more worldly thinking, no more as we are used to, no more worldly behaving, because that mind is already free of the things that makes a mind think worldly, or in worldly terms, in terms of desire, in terms of competition or defilements, lobha, dosa, and moha. That mind is beyond. Whoosh. Yes, at that moment, the magga samadhi, when all the goodness of our mind, the potentiality of our mind has arrived to its peak. May this moment come very quickly to all of us, quickly and easily. In Asiado, in Burma, he used to tell us every time, every time we are going out of the room, he would say, may you attain Nibbana quickly and easily. Sadhu, 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 sadhu. May it be the same for all of us.
In the first
quickly
time,
and easily for you all.
In the first, thank you. Sadhu, sadhu.
Yes. All of us.
So actually, it's very interesting because that, we're going out of theme, out of the content, but it's okay, just a little bit. Many years ago, when we first heard that Sayadaw, we have not started studying yet, so it's over 10, 15 years ago. When I heard that, then I thought, wow, quickly and easily, sounds good. All this really nice.
Thank you.
I thought this Sayadaw is kind of interesting. Why he said like that. Then later on, then we studying, then we find out it actually comes in the scriptures.
In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha himself, he said.
The Buddha explained 4 types of persons who attained Nibbana. One is
painfully,
quickly, yes, painfully, but quickly.
Painfully,
Another
but
one-
quickly.
But quickly. The another one is easily but slowly. And the other one is painfully and slowly.
Oh, that's
And
the
the other
worst.
one is
Painfully
quickly,
and slowly.
quickly and
Oh.
easily.
And the
So
other one is the
actually then it's really amazing because like now at this point with little bit more knowledge of the Dhamma, then we understand that those they never say thing whatever, or they don't invent like this like that. Actually everything comes from the suttas.
Yes.
Like he's based on the Buddha's teaching.
Because this is said normally in Burma, we thought it was a cultural thing. Okay, in Burma, say the people say this.
Oh, he invented.
May you
how
attain,
nice, no?
may you attain nibbana quickly and easily. But later on, you come to see, wow, they are really just quoting in their daily speech the teachings of the Buddha, which one can trace into a specific sutta, and why did the Buddha said so, and what kind of ultimate realities he was referring to.
How
so in
is
this
it
case,
easily? How is it painfully?
how is it slowly?
Like,
why
how
is it slowly?
quickly?
Wow. Then the whole thing is just like, no way. Every time, even years and years, I think even our teachers, years and years that they study, they say that they never stop surprising about the depth of the teaching.
And getting joyful
Wow.
with the
Quickly and
words
easily,
of
all of
Buddha,
us.
Okay, so anyway, Magga Samadhi, we'll come back to what we are talking about. Magga Samadhi is the right view that accompanies the Magga Chitta. Okay, then the next one is easy to understand. The next one is Phala Samadhi. So that is the right view, Samadhi factor, path factor that accompanies the Phala Chitta.
Which will be, as you know, akaliko. It will be immediate. Whenever Magga arises, if Magga arose, Phala is bound to come without delay. When we recite the qualities of the Dhamma and we say akaliko, the Dhamma is akaliko, actually it's meaning precisely this point. The Buddha says, if somebody purifies his or her mind and reaches Magga, immediately the good result of enlightenment will happen. So this is when it is referring to timeless. Timeless, yes.
Okay, so
No
there
delay.
is only another 2 more samadhis to see. Let's go through and then we have a break. Is that okay? Or you want to take break first before we continue?
2 more, everybody okay?
Okay. So the next one now following Magga and Phala, what's next after Magga and Phala is actually Pachawekkhana Samadhi. Pachawekkhana is the reviewing process. You remember after the enlightenment process, after Magga process, after Magga Phala, then there are some mental process that review what happened. No, the first one reviewed those jhavanas, reviewed the Magga that one has attained. These ones we have already seen in chapter 4 actually. So
in the enlightenment process. You remember?
I'm not expanding too much here.
Yeah, when somebody gets enlightened, the next mental process recognizes, wow, the defilements are not present anymore. I mean, this Magga has happened, enlightenment has happened. It confirms in itself. It's natural for a mind to do so. And apparently the touching of the object of Nibbana is so powerful and so special, according to our normal experience, that definitely the mind kind of recognizes.
Yes, like Bante said that those defilements are not there anymore. Actually, yes, it is. So this five reviewing process. First process, we review Magga. Second process, review Phala. Third one, Nibbana. The fourth one, review the eradicated and defilement. So for example, if it is the first stage of enlightenment, that process, it will understand, review that ditthi
is gone. So yes. it is like carrying ignorance for lives, and suddenly when reaching Magga, that ignorance was left over. So then that person, which hopefully is one of us very soon, will say, what, the ignorance was left. I'm not carrying that. So immediately the mind is much lighter, much wholesome. It recognizes that it's not carrying the burden of wrong view, believing on unrightly according to reality.
Yes, so ditthi and vicikicca, doubt, are totally gone, no?
Finished.
Then,
No more doubt.
Then the fifth process, reviewing process, it
Another.
review the non-eradicated defilement. In the case for the Sotapanna, he has eradicated ditthi and vicikicca, but still lobha, dosa, moha still there,
present.
not yet totally eradicated.
He just
no?
diminished
So,
because he has no more ditthi, but a Sotapanna can still feel desire, etc., etc.
Yes, so in the fifth process, they review defilements that are remaining, that are still, they still have to work on those.
I still have desire or anger. There is very slight, but still.
But for an arahant, the reviewing process is only 4, no? Because there is no defilement is remaining. So until the 4, he just reviewed that, okay, make sure everything is being eradicated, and that's it. So reviewing process for an arahant is only 4. For the other 3 stages of enlightenment will be 5. No? Okay, so anyway, you
can take a photo if you wish of this slide.
We are reviewing
like
this
screenshot.
Reviewing process because this kind of samadhi is actually called pacha vekana samadhi. So the samadhi that accompanies the reviewing chittas.
The reviewing process after magga. Remember, we are
After
talking
magga.
about magga. That's why this is related to the magga process, to the enlightenment moment.
Yes. So then afterwards, so this is another kind of samadhi. Then basically here we complete the samadhis, but in Sayadaw Silananda's book, he also said that sometimes some places jhana samadhi is also mentioned. So when a person attains jhana, there is also certain kind of a right view there, because they understand that this practice will give them result, will give them
good
the
result.
So it's a little bit similar to the kammasakata samadhi, because they understand the
result of their actions. In this case, very stable mind. Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I think, this is only my idea, that's why some places is not included, but some places it includes, no? Because this jhana samadhi, they understand where that this practice will give them result. No, not that they are not free yet. They are not free from the samsara, but there are some certain degree of samadhi, of understanding that this practice gives them result. So it's a little bit similar with the first kind of samadhi. So therefore, some places it's just the same, mentioned as the same, but some places they are mentioned specifically because jhana also special. No, actually, it's a very high degree of development. So at the end, let's do a recap of all the kinds of samadhi that we have seen.
Few seconds to digest. Few seconds to digest.
Okay, so I think by now you have already read it by yourself, the kinds of ditthi that we have already seen. So it's interesting because right view, sometimes we mentioned like right view, okay, so but we never really in detail see what kind of right view. So this is the first time that we actually look at the different types of right view.
Yes.
And as you see that it is they are quite, besides the first one, samadhi, which is quite daily, all others are directed to the practice, to the cultivation of the mind, totally related to vipassana, hence magga, phala, and the reviewing. So samadhi is actually quite, how can I say, it's high, like to have samadhi.
Yeah, it's something based definitely in wisdom. And it has implications into the highest spheres of our mental development. The deepest one happened when the enlightenment happens. I mean, when the highest and more refined, we can say better in this way, the most refined of the wisdom or our ability to be wise, it is present. It is the most, how to say, refined, yes, the finest. And fair, putting it together, I think yoniso manasikāra, in this case, having the right attention, will fall also onto kammasakata, yes, onto this umbrella.
Also, onto this umbrella. Also,
The other ones will be just this kind of a result because the mind already achieved. So I think just as Charana just said, Kamasakata and Vipassana Samadhi, those definitely will come into our constant trying of balancing the mind, having the right attention, and then it will fall into the same umbrella.
Yes, jhana also, because it is the directing the mind, the wise attention towards the meditation object. No? So I think jhana samadhi maybe also.
If it was me, I would put jhana, then the maggas, because after first is jhana generally, and then the maggas will come. So if it was me, in order to
yes,
put,
I understand. If it was me, I would put kamasakata, then jhana, then vipassana, then magga.
It can be there. I mean, I want just, yes, you're right. You can put kamasakata, jhana, and then vipassana. Yes, even better.
Now
right.
I want to explain
but
why
magga,
it is.
What I mean is magga later.
Yes, I understand. But why it is put in this way? Because jhana is not included sometimes. It is just in some places, in some books, it is mentioned. So therefore, you can actually exclude it. Then kamasakata, vipassana, magga, phala, paccavekkhana is actually the least.
Yeah, it's
but
already.
Jhana sometimes can also be included.
As you remember, therefore, we can get enlightened in a dry way or a moist way. When a person reaches the jhana and then practice vipassana and get enlightened, he's full course, or one can get enlightened without even the presence of jhana, having kanika samadhi, momentary concentration.
Okay, so let's finish with this slide with samadhi and let's take a break.
Yes, take a break. Yes.
So just lastly, kamasakata samadhi and vipassana samadhi, these ones, they are actually mundane, lokiya, no? Lokiya.
Inside the world.
Not enlightened yet, no? So it is during practice of vipassana, still is mundane, lokiya. Then magga and phala, surely these ones are super mundane, lokutara ones, samadhi, lokutara samadhi. Then paccavekkhana samadhi, and jhana samadhi again is mundane, because this only magga and phala is lokutara, super mundane. Okay, so here we finished with the first pair, right view and wrong view. And after the break, we are going to right thought and wrong
thought.
Then it still continues with yoniso manasikāra.
We have the wrong effort and then the wrong concentration. We will see how far we can get today. Welcome, everybody. How is everybody, my dear family? How are you? How is the information arriving?
Actually, during break time, Bante was saying that there are a lot of information today. I'm a little worried that if everybody is okay, if they are like not like you know,
it's okay,
like,
everybody okay?
Indigested food or something. So therefore we wanted to pause and see how everybody is before we continue. So if you can let us know how you feel, and if you want to continue, or
how are you feeling,
yes.
Don Edward?
Yes, in my case it's okay. I'm okay if you want to continue. Yeah.
Andreita, ¿cómo está?
Also good, yeah.
Also
long
good.
Weekend, so a lot of things in my head, but it's okay.
Yes. This is what I say. A lot of things. So we can.
Sunday evening.
Yes, for you it's also late.
Also.
Yes, you are finishing the day. For us, fresh.
Tired or something.
Okay, I also agree that it's a lot of information, but I think we can handle a little bit more.
Okay, let's go there.
Okay, I have one suggestion. Do you want to leave right thought for next week? Because right thought is a lot of information, but right effort and right concentration is so easy.
Okay, we can go right effort and concentration.
Right thought for next class because it is important.
Yes.
And it has a lot of information, and it's better when the mind is fresher.
Everybody agree? Okay, so let's go wrong effort and wrong concentration.
Okay, so
Micha Vayama.
Sama Vayama and Micha Vayama. So here it will be good to understand right effort with the Buddha's own words.
Yeah, sadhu.
So let's see. The Buddha says, a bhikkhu or practitioner makes an effort, arouse energy, applies his mind, and strive to avoid the arising of unwholesome states that has not yet arisen. abandon and overcome those that has arisen.
And wholesome one, yes.
Develop wholesome states that has not yet arisen. Maintain those that has arisen for their non-decay, increase, expansion, and fulfillment by development.
Wow, sadhu, sadhu. Definition of right thought.
He makes an effort, arouse energy, applies his mind, and strives. This is called right effort.
To avoid and abandon the wrong thoughts and actions, and to develop, invite, and maintain the right kind of thinking. The best thing we can do for ourselves. The essence of the practice, actually. Avoid doing bad, do good, plus purify and cultivate our minds with wisdom and mental stability.
So this is Sama Vayama. This quote, you can find it in the Vibhanga Sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya. And so have make a little graphic for easy understanding. So Sama Vayama, in short or in summary, it's avoid the akusala that has not yet arisen.
The latent one.
And abandon and overcome the akusala that has already arisen in the mind.
Already the mind is burning. We need to understand it and abandon as soon as possible.
Then we need to develop the kusala that still are seeds that have not yet arisen yet.
Also, can we say the latent goodness that is our noble potential that we can invite to be present in the mind willfully and consciously.
And then here, because Bante mentioned the word latent, I just want to make sure that
it's not confused with
anusaya.
Okay.
Don't confuse with anusaya, because anusaya is only bad, not only akusala, like the category we saw last week. So there is no anusaya goodness. No, don't have. But of course, we have potential for goodness, but that is not called anusaya.
Yes.
Okay.
So our ability or our potential for noble potential, we can put it in this way.
Okay. So the last one is to maintain and further develop those kusala that has already arisen. So give some more water.
It's already present, and we keep it as long as possible. Neuroscience has totally proven this. They have said, we read an article a few years ago, that they said that the best thing a person can do is practice wholesome or beneficial mental states and keep them as long as possible, because literally the brain will continue making connections. The neurons will be connecting on that side, and that path will get strengthened. So the mind will naturally, the flow of the mind will naturally go on that path, which is already strong.
Yes, actually, Sayadaw Tejaniya also, he mentioned about this. He said that when there is a moment that you feel like you are being mindful and the in general situation is good, then remember it. Make an effort to register those moments. Remember how it feels. He said so. So later on, then the mind will be more familiar, more accustomed to going for these states to arise strengthen it.
You will develop a nice taste about goodness, and also the practice of sharing merits is actually to do so. We already did good, and then we share merits with all beings. We recognize our goodness, and then we strengthen it and share the benefits with others. We already did the good, and we are watering the seed, so that goodness, the love for doing good increases in our mind. Later on, the mind will naturally do it, even if we wish or not. The new habit is already developed. The unwholesome one is abandoned, and the new one is developed and will be present. Yeah.
Now, since we are already in the chapter 7, quite advanced in the Abhidhamma Sangaha, I would like to give you a tiny little bit more information about this. This avoid akusala that has not yet arisen. So we have actually asked Sayadaw, these have not arisen. Does it mean that it is not arising at this moment in the mind, or what does it mean?
You mean wholesome and unwholesome?
Yes. So, as Sayadaw said, this that had
No. You mean wholesome or unwholesome that has not yet arisen?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Those that has not yet arisen means what?
Both of them. Yes. Akusala and kusala. Yes.
So that means actually, strictly speaking, we can say that those kind of akusala that we have never ever experienced before. Not that it is not yet in the not yet in the mind at this moment. For example, let's say akusala side first. So Sayadaw said, throughout samsara, basically there is no akusala that we have not done. So actually is to avoid for those akusala to repeat and abandon those that has arisen, that has arisen already, not only at this present moment, but that we have done before. That for example, before in previous life, we have been an animal, we have killed already.
Definitely,
so
we killed in the past.
It has a reason already. So this killing, so we avoid and abandon and overcome not to kill again, for example.
Not to kill again, and not to give the conditions for those seeds as much as possible to arise again.
Yeah, so in a deeper sense, to understand this a reason or not a reason means that it has never risen before, or it has a reason, but not only meaning at the present moment. No. Then in the side of the kusala, there are quite a lot of kusala that has not a reason in our mind, such as
Magga and Phala
and all these things. So it is meaning those, try to develop those that had never arisen in our mind. For example, maybe jhana in this lifetime, maybe not yet, but maybe in previous life, maybe already. We do not know, but magga surely never. No, otherwise
we will not. Well, maybe we. Well, no, not really.
I'm sorry,
not really.
But,
to be honest, not yet. I don't think we have arrived to even to the first part. Sotapanna. If we were Sotapanna fair, we personally.
I'm sure I'm not.
I'm sure I'm not, because Sotapanna cannot break the 5 precepts at all. So I cannot say so.
Yes.
So anyway, we continue trying, I guess.
Yeah. So anyway, the main point here is to just give a little bit another layer of this reason, a reason and not yet a reason. How deep the Buddha is talking about. So meaning those. Kusala, those good things, wholesome state that has not yet arisen, including magga and phala, the main point.
Ultimately, but also can be applied in worldly terms. Yes, we can bring wholesomeness in our daily living. Yes,
but that goes
that will lead to towards that.
Or vipassana jnana, vipassana wisdom, that maybe not yet arisen yet, then we try to develop those kind of understanding. Then those that has already arisen, that for example, we do dana, we do sila, all this we have already arisen, then maintain it and further develop them. No? So this is the little bit the second layer of the understanding.
Bring the good one.
So right effort and these 4. Then we see wrong effort. Miccha vayama, wrong effort. What is wrong effort? Wrong effort is actually viriya cetasika accompanying akusala citta. So any kind of viriya that arrives together with akusala citta is called wrong effort. Because when we do wrong, when we do akusala, also effort is required. No, we need effort to do things, no, good or bad. So those that associate with akusala is called miccha vayama. And why is it a path factor? Because this wrong effort leads us to somewhere. No, leads us to
bad destination, or result, immediate result, be it in this life or later on.
So therefore, it is also a path factor. Okay, so that's about samma vayama and miccha vayama, right effort and wrong effort. Okay, so let's go to right concentration. Okay, right concentration and wrong concentration. That is samma samadhi and miccha samadhi, right concentration and wrong concentration. So right concentration is quite easy to understand. That is those concentration, those ekagata samadhi that is related with jhana and vipassana practice. No, and just as a little note, samadhi actually is developed by sammasati plus samavayama. So Samavayama is the right effort that we have seen the 4 types of right effort we have just seen now. Samasati, we skipped it, so we haven't seen it. So next week we will come again to this, because it's better that after we see it, then we see both of them, no? But anyway, just as a note, Samadhi is developed by the combination or by developing Samasati and Samavayama. This point will come back again next week. Then the Micha Samadhi, wrong concentration, also it's easy to understand. That's the ekagata associated with akusala actions. Like when we are very focused or very concentrated in the fishing or
when
akusala.
a person that wants to steal definitely is very concentrated, or not to say killing, it can be very, we have seen before, like the wrong kind of concentration, akusala concentration.
Yes.
Wrong intention, concentration.
Okay, so in this case that we finished the right effort and right concentration, then we still have right thought and right mindfulness. We'll keep it for next week when we have more
fresher mind.
Fresher mind. Okay, so we'll stop here today.
Everybody, what do we bring home today? Don Guillermo, please.
The sensation that everything is integrated finally, and the intention is very important, but also the word right, it's very lovely for me, because also gives the sensation that when something is right, something is also good, and something is also wise. And at the same time, it is wise, it is an action that is correct, that you are being generous to yourself or to others. But finally, the most important knowledge that I received today is you must be responsible of yourself. Don't give chances to think that the others of some external super powerful nature, things brought out of yourself, are responsible for what is happening to you. So I keep that in mind, and that's right.
Sadu. So that would be, Don Guillermo, the Kamasakata Samaditi. I am responsible and owner of my own karma. Don Fer, if you have the phrase of the Buddha when he says, I am heir to my karma, supported by my karma, born by my karma, whatever I do for good or for that, of that I will be the heir. I will be that is my inheritance made by myself. There is a very beautiful saying of the Buddha, Guillermo, that it's worth keeping close, and it's talking precisely about this. We are responsible. Yes. Sadu. Very beautiful. Thank you, Don Fer. Thank you, Don Guillermazo.
Yeah, very
beautiful. Very beautiful.
Right is important.
Right. Good. Somebody else, my dear family, what do we bring home? In Spanish also, welcome, anything.
Yeah, for me it was really nice, like, well, the whole class, but especially this last part, like to see like the path to enlightenment, like how is considered right and what is considered wrong. It was really nice to remind that part again, and I think it's really helpful like for the practice. So that part was really, really nice and special for me. Thank you very much.
Very good. Yeah, so next week we will continue with right thought and right mindfulness also. That's also important for the practice. So I think it will be even more complete next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
We are having high flights, ne? Look what we're talking about. We are feeling joy about our possibility of freedom from suffering. Look what we're talking about. If you look at it as spiritual friends, human beings in this planet, look what we are considering and becoming happy about it, about the possibility. My dear family, very beautiful gift you are giving us. If our work of doing all this and effort in moments like this, when we all are contemplating and seeing it clearly together, the benefit of it, for us, we are satisfied with the work done. Thank you so much, Don Edward. Thank you. Very beautiful. I'm very happy to be contemplating this so sincerely and so clearly. We are looking at it. Still work to do, yes, but we are already looking at the possibility. Thank you so much. That's why the sharing is so beautiful, because of this. So what else, my dear family?
For me, I think the most special part of today's class was also the part of maggaṅga, of the paths, but wherein you highlighted the wrong path. because it's very easy to remember the right path, but not the wrong part. And it's what takes the most part of our actions of the day.
Yes.
It's not easy to have right view. We're almost, at least talking for myself, it's more inclined to the other side. And it's very nice that you highlight it, because that gives you, it propels the practice.
Yes.
At least we can be mindful of that, and then you pass to the other side now. So it was very nice.
We keep in mind what we need to avoid and be careful about at the same time that we know its opposite. So it becomes much clearer. We are supported from both sides. We know what is clearly when our mind is in the wrong side and when it's on the right. So it is with a buttress. How you say buttress in Spanish? Soporte, but hay una palabra en español específica para eso. Entonces, we put punteros o puntales. So our right practice is apuntalado. That's the word. It's apuntalado from both sides. We know when the mind is wrong. Yes, Andreita, very important to keep both. And for some reason, and very importantly, the Buddha says right. Very nice. Thank you. And we are in the same cloud, my dear sis. Yes, I am also considered in the generally wrong view.
Everybody, because wrong view is only eradicated in the first
Sotapanna. Gambare.
No? So until then, it will be. So.
Gambare, everybody. Right effort. Yes. Somebody else. What do we bring home?
Principalmente lo del esfuerzo, Virilla.
Right.
Desde la primera vez que lo escuché, el de evitar, o sea, lo que no hemos hecho, que tenemos el potencial, tanto de lo positivo como de lo negativo.
Sí.
Bueno, abandonarlo, ese. Y creo que sobre todo como ampliar momento a momento, o sea, ser un poco más... no sé, como cuando se dice sharp, afilar, o sea, más afilado en la atención, porque cambia tan rápido que tenemos atención un ratito y luego así otro ratito y hasta que pasa un poco algo más fuerte, ¿no? Se puede, exacto. Entonces, como tener más cuidado con detalles, de todo eso. Eso creo que principalmente.
Manteniendo, I'm sure that you will handle, but we need to keep a relaxation and naturality on it. Otherwise, the mind can get tense because there is so much and it's going so. As long as we keep that relaxing and overview as well, going to the detail and then coming back and see, yes, this is very, very important.
Yes, because sometimes if we focus too much in the details, the mind gets tired and then it can become wrong effort.
Like agitated. So just check the balance. We will check how much, when, and do it like a ninja work. Go take care of the detail and then go to the generality. So the mind don't get stuck.
Tired.
Neither out, neither in. A right point, sweet spot in the middle. Yes, very nice. Somebody else? Thank you. Sadhu. All going to practice inspiration. Very good. Somebody else?
I found very interesting the jhana factors that actually are not part of jhana. That they are used here generally to how to focus on something. And that's why it reminded me of yoniso manasikāra, because like how to focus wisely on something, but this is focus on another. And I didn't know about that use of jhana in a regular sense, not in a deep absorbed meditation state.
Yes. So it is interesting, and it is important, Fer, that because generally when we speak jhana, we assume that is good, and we read sometimes comments, the jhana, and then you say, well, actually there is miccha jhana as well. Then we can get concentrated deeply because of anger, wanting to destroy the enemy or something. So there is more than appearances. Even in the teaching, I think this will bring us to be to have more caution as we speak about the Dhamma, because we know there are more sides of it, but only by studying Abhidhamma we can get to these points and be able to clearly say why. Otherwise, you say to somebody else who is let's say only read it on a sutta or something, you tell him that jhana can be not good, or you without having background information, how can one explain? And so it becomes really interesting. And I think some degree of humility arises, or hopefully arises, from that knowing the depths of the mind.
And just to add something, as Fernando said, that most of the time, when you read about jhana, is about the absorption state, and it's right. It's really about that. Most of the time, when we read jhana, it is those good states. So, but at some places, also miccha jhana sometimes is mentioned. So we have to understand that it also exists and it also have this. But let's not think that those rupa vachara and arupa vachara jhana can be bad. No, they cannot be bad. They are always good.
Those ones will always be.
Those are always
wholesome,
good.
very wholesome. The mind is very pure. Yes. Thank you,
Thank
Don
you
Fer.
very
Thank
much.
you. Don Guillermo. Something else, Fer. Sorry, something else.
Just I remember that also the Buddha in the suttas gives several warnings about jhanas. That is not the goal. Like you can be attached to that and he gives these warnings to the bhikkhus that is part of it, but it's not not the goal and not the final.
Yes.
And it's so pleasant that we can get easily attached to that pleasantness, to that mental stability. It's very pleasant. And you experience happiness.
Can attach to basically everything. No, only the lokutara is not possible. Otherwise, every good thing we can attach to every good thing.
Such an adventure we have. We have something ahead of us.
Okay, so thank you very much, everybody.
Don Guillermo levantó la mano. Don Guillermazo, will you raise the hand? Something?
Yes. Could you be so kind to extend the concept or the idea of you can be good, but if you don't have wisdom, maybe it's not correct. I mean, it's not that easy to behave and to have actions, your speech, whatever you think or whatever you do, if you don't have wisdom. You think you are a good person, you think you are doing good, but finally, you must have wisdom in order to really be good. Is that true?
Yeah.
Because I really want to get into that thinking. Is marvelous for me. It's very, very deep, that relationship between goodness and wisdom.
Yes.
So that would be, I know you don't have something to say, but that would be the difference between doing good ignorantly or doing good wisely, knowing precisely what you're doing, the seed you are planting, and the effects that you will get from it. So I saw you that you have.
Yes, and sometimes we can have good intention. We want to do good, but we say something which is not in the right moment or not in the right language or whatever it may be, and it didn't sound good at all for the other person.
The intention was good, but it came bad.
But because of not enough wisdom, then this could happen also. So that's why when Guillermo said that it can be good with good intention, but it could be wrong. Yeah, also. So it could not be right. It could not be right. Also sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, and
so wisdom is most important.
Our teacher says, in general terms, our teacher says that, for example, in many cultures and religions promote doing good to others, but very seldom they promote this magical ingredient, which is know what you're doing, that you're responsible for your actions. Karma exists, cause and effect exists. You are doing good to the other, and you are also planting seeds that will give you fruit in life. So considering cause and effect and karma in your own process. So as we started this session, the invitation of the Buddha is, when we are doing good, bring wisdom. Before doing it, you know you're about to do good. While you are doing the good, you know you are doing good. And later on, you recollect and reflect on the goodness. So you rejoice again, and you put fertilizer to the seed you already planted, which gives you more inspiration to continue doing good. So when wisdom is present, actually we are planting that seed in the most carefully way. So a seed that is planted carefully is bound generally to give better results, because we take care of the soil, we took care that it had enough light, and enough the conditions that it needed to grow well. In the other hand, when we do good because somebody told us, or because it's culturally well seen, but without understanding the law of karma, the seed is planted, but not with the best conditions. So in general, our teacher says that we can make greater the potentiality by including the understanding of the law of cause and effect. So yeah, it gives a big difference. And a wise people will continue doing it because he knows that everybody's benefited, the person they are helping and themselves sooner or later, because of the law of karma. We don't do because of the benefits, but actually it exists. Sooner or later, those seeds will give fruits. So yes. How do you feel, Don Guillermo? Does it goes good on that direction? Very, very important. The reminder before, while, and later. Yes. Good. Thank you, my dear family, everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody. And so we continue next week with the exploration of path factors, maggaṅga, and then we will go to other groups in the mixed category. We still have some more to go.
Yes, thank you very much for the inspiration. Love you, my dear family. Stay well. Have a nice night, nice week. See you soon. Yes. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Sunday, 7 a.m. Whoever wish to take the precepts. Best wishes. Good night. Sabiti jobi wajantu sokorogo winyasatu mate bawat wantarayo. Suki dikayu go bawam bawatu saba mangalam rakantu saba dewata saba budanu damanu sanganu bawena saba suki bawantute. May the good seeds that we planted today take root and give many fruits for the benefit of our parents, our family, and all beings, including all the species in all the universe. May goodness flourish. Thank you for our efforts. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Beautiful in the beginning, middle, and end. And to finish, because Fer put it here, he left it in the chat.
Thank you so much.
He said, Fer, the Buddha says, I am the owner of my actions, heir to my actions, born of my actions, related through my actions, and have my actions as my arbitrator. Whatever I do for good or for evil, of that I will be the heir. And in Spanish, soy el dueño de mis acciones, heredero de mis acciones. Mis acciones son mi origen, mi pariente, mi refugio. Seré heredero de cualquier acción buena o mala que haga. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. My dear family, thank you so much.
Good night. See you next
Good night.
week.
Sweet dreams. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We are moving on. Happy, happy, happy.